The Nyukani Education Center in Giyani will not be opening its doors tomorrow due to the incessant rain in the area that has caused flooding. The school released a statement a short while ago. However, the Department of Education says it will begin the 2026 academic year tomorrow. Let's now bring in the department's Mike Maringa to explain, and in Limpopo, of course. Mike, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. So just give us a sense in terms of what is this circular about. It reads with the subject line, postponement of school opening due to threatening floods. Are schools opening tomorrow as planned in Limpopo?
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to the viewers. As the Limpopo Department of Education, I can confirm that we are working with Cogstar and the disaster unit. They are on the ground assessing the disaster that is in Mopani and Wembe districts in particular. What we are planning to do is that upon receiving the outcome of the assessment, as the department will then make a decision at around 5 o'clock, will issue a statement to which will then give us a direction as to whether we are reopening or not. We don't want to take a blanket approach to say that there's no schooling in Limpopo tomorrow, because it's not all the places that are flooding. It's mainly our two districts in the far north, in the Lowveld, being Wembe and Mopani districts. I must also indicate that we were supposed to receive the Minister of Basic Education, Minister Kwekube, tomorrow. We're taking her to Palabura and Namahale, but because of the flash floods, a decision has been taken that the visit will be postponed. So we see the magnitude of these floods. We are very cautious, and we believe that with the reports that we are awaiting, we should be able to take a correct decision, which will, in the ultimate end, look at the safety of our learners and the teachers as well.
Do you think a decision at 5 p.m. will give enough time for parents, especially in the Wembe and Mopani districts, to make that decision, then not to, take their children to school, or even get the message not to take their children to school? I hear you saying that you've cancelled that visit with the Minister of Basic Education, Sivuya Gwahube, because of the concerns of flooding. Do you not have the same concerns for those districts?
Yeah, remember Mopani, it's one of the districts that she was supposed to visit. And we said, because some of the roads are inaccessible, and with the video clips that you were showing in Wembe, Kwakani in particular, where a mother and two of her children were trapped, it is of a great concern to us. Hence, we have reached out to Cogstar and the disaster units to give us a sense of what's happening on the ground. We must also indicate that we know this morning that some of our learners who were supposed to collect their statement of results could not access the schools because of the flooding. Some roads have been cut off and all that. So we need to make an informed decision. We have all the platforms that we are going to use to ensure that if a decision is taken that we are postponing the reopening of schools tomorrow, the message filters down to the parents. They are waiting for us. We've been receiving calls, and hence we have given a directive to the people on the ground to assist us, so that even when we release that information, it must be guided. It cannot be a blanket approach. We must only look at the affected areas.
Then help us place this message that came through that says, we wish to inform you that due to the prevailing threatening flood conditions and after careful consideration of the safety and well-being of all members of our school community, the opening of the school has been postponed. The school was initially scheduled to open on Wednesday, the 14th of January, 2026. The new opening date will now be Monday, 19 January, 2026. Has that decision only been confined to one school?
Yeah, that is an independent school that is around the Giyani area. They were communicating to the parents of the learners who are attending at that school. Public, as the representatives of the public schools in the province, we have not yet made a determination. But with the pictures that we are seeing and the video clips that we are seeing. We are only waiting for the formal data that will assist us to draft that statement and to communicate with all the stakeholders. We are not naive. We know what's happening on the ground, and we believe that as soon as we have all the data that we need, we'll come to an ultimate decision that will be at the best interest of our learners, the parents, and the community at large.
Given that the Weather Service has issued high-level warnings for Limpopo and for Mpumalanga, I would imagine that that decision would mean that it's highly likely that the schools will open tomorrow.
Yeah, what we must also take into cognizance is that the opening of the school does not only end with learners entering the school gates, the teaching and learning. Most of our schools are quintile 1 to 3 schools. They rely on our feeding scheme, national nutrition program. So as it stands now, if roads are inaccessible, obviously those who are given the responsibility to deliver food rations at the schools are not able to deliver. As much as we're able to deliver stationery before the end of the year, there's a lot more that still need to go to school. So you can't take learners who are supposed to be fed at the school and keep them the whole day without food. So those are some of the things that we are looking at as we determine the way forward. But as I've indicated, the decision that will come to will be at the best interest of our learners, the community, and the community at large.
Yeah, I think I said or meant to say highly unlikely, given that there are also people that have been caught up in that flooding in the province itself. But thank you so much, Mike, for clarifying that. We should then keep tabs with you at 5 o'clock to see if you've made that call. It would be important, I think, to notify parents, particularly in the 2 districts that you have mentioned. But thank you so much for your time. Mike Maringa is from the Department of Education in Limpopo.